welcome to Nation Now. I'm Pradeep Nambiar. In this we talk about the news affecting the nation, Maharashtra and Mumbai. As they say that every man's death diminishes me because I'm involved in mankind. So don't ask for whom the bells toll. The bell tolls for thee. That was a very famous proverb. And I will repeat it again. Every man's death diminishes me because I am involved in mankind. So don't ask for whom the bells toll. The bell tolls for thee. We are met. The nation grieves today. The nation grieves today. The Air India AI 171, Ahmedabad, London, crashed a few minutes after takeoff. In fact, very immediately after the takeoff. Whatever the reasons, we will definitely know, but this kind of a tragic loss, 242 passengers on board. We got 242 passengers and it crashed into a medical college. It crashed into a medical college in a medical hostel in which many doctors also have been affected, are said to be under very critical condition. 242 passengers, out of 242 passengers, 169 were Indians. 169 passengers were Indians, 53 British citizens, 7 Portuguese citizens and 1 Canadian citizen. Prime Minister absolutely in a stun, he said, I am stunned and saddened. It's heartbreaking beyond words. That is what the Prime Minister Modi said. He said, I'm shocked, stunned and saddened, heartbreaking beyond words. He has asked the entire machinery to immediately fall in place to see that whatever rescue, rehabilitation can be done immediately. All the agencies concerned have involved themselves. Now, Devendra Fadnavis ji, our Chief Minister, also has condoled. He says it's a very tragic accident. His heart pours on to all the families of the people who have been affected. A very tragic incident to happen, particularly at this particular time. Rahul Gandhi, the leader of the opposition, has said Air India plane crash is heartbreaking. That's what Rahul Gandhi said. He says his thoughts are with each and every family member of the people who have been affected. The plane crashed into a student's hostel, a medical college building. Many MBBS students are feared dead. The college was BJ Medical College. BJ Medical College. The Indian Army has been put into rescue efforts. 130 personnel of the army are on the job, doing all kind of rescue operations. They are all involved in rescue operations. The Civil Aviation Minister has asked all the civil aviation rescue teams to rise to the occasion, go there and to see whatever best can be done. The aircraft, the plane lost radar signal and the aircraft was lost around 10 o'clock, 10:08 local time. It fell from around 625 feet. Everybody grieves this particular accident that has happened. The whole country is united. The whole world is united. All the world leaders have been pouring in condolence messages for this tragic accident. Most of these accidents usually immediately happens where plane crash takes place. Immediately, 35% of these are done immediately when the plane takes off, during the takeoff. The cause definitely will be known at a later stage. Is it engine failure, pilot error, technical system failures, whatever is it, whether it is weather conditions, whatever. But that requires a different kind of inquiry. That will be done. We welcome Mr. Godfrey Pimenta, Advocate Godfrey Pimenta on the show. Godfrey Pimenta has been, Godfrey ji, welcome to the show. Namaskar.
Namaskar.
A tragic incident, Godfrey ji, will begin from there. Air India plane crash, AI 171, Ahmedabad, London crashed, 242 passengers on board. The whole nation and the world condoles this particular accident. Rescue efforts are on.
It was a very, very tragic incident. In fact, my in-laws were traveling to London this morning. So it was like a shocking news after hearing this kind of thing that innocent lives have been lost in this, and the what you call the cause of the accident is still to be ascertained. But be that as it may be, but we offer our sympathies to the souls which have been, perished in this tragic incident. I think so. The whole nation is grieving this incident.
The whole world is together. They said this is something that is absolutely, and we all condole it. All world leaders have been talking about this, and in fact messaged the Prime Minister on this great loss to the nation. Godfreyji, we'll come back to the topic affecting the Gorai residents. Now, you have been continuously taking up the cause of the Gorai people, residents out there. We had earlier also talked about the bins, we had talked about various other facilities that the Gorai residents has been eluding, they have failed to get. That include basic facilities like medical, education, water. Now you got a separate issue. Yahan par, our central ward office has issued a notice to locals. Now can you elaborate on that? Godfrey ji, us pe kuch roshni dale aap.
Sir, this notices came out of, as a total shock to the local residents, because what has happened today, the population, of course, over a period of time has grown in Gorai and elsewhere also in Mumbai. This is predominantly a GAOTHAN area and also has a separate Kulivada. Now people have, constructed, on their own properties here and there, and they were living a peaceful life. One fine day, I think so, the Mumbai Municipal Corporation has issued many notices under Section 351 for demolition of the structures, as well as issuing stop work notices under Section 354A of the Mumbai Corporation Act. Now, we are not against, objecting to this kind of notices. Why this, segregation of only Gorai? There are thousands and thousands of illegal structures all over Mumbai. If the corporation is applying the policy, it has to apply uniformly throughout Mumbai. If you go to, like, say, Mangrove area or Bandra East, or if you come to Santa Cruz East also nearing the highway, the structures have gone up to 4 and 5 stories. The BMC has completely shut its eyes to all the illegalities and finds something illegal in the peaceful location in Gorai. Now I'll come to Gorai, sir. The Gorai area is nothing, is a declared GAOTHAN area that nobody can dispute. Now under the provisions of the Maharashtra Land Revenue Code, the boundary of the GAOTHAN is required to be extended every 10 years by 100 meters. For 6 decades, the boundary of the GAOTHAN has not been extended. Today, if that GAOTHAN extension policy would have been extended, then all the structures would have become legal by the GAOTHAN extension policy. Now, this is today the subject matter of the public interest litigation, which we have filed in Bombay High Court in 2019. There is an interim stay granted by the Bombay High Court that no structure should be demolished in the GAOTHAN without following the due process of law. Now, sir, in case of structures in GAOTHAN and in neighboring areas, the corporation is asking the cut-off date as 17th April 1964. That if you have any proof to show that your structure existed prior to this datum line of 17th April 1964, the structure is considered as tolerated structure. Whereas in case of slums, which have been, encroached on the government-owned properties, whether it is the central government property, state government property, or collector or corporation property, slum dwellers, who are basically encroachers, are given all protection. Year after year, the cut-off date has been extended. So the first cut-off date was 1/1/1995. Thereafter, this date is extended to 1/1/2000. Thereafter, again this date goes on changing to 1/1/2011. Thereafter, you pay the money even if your structure is illegal. If you have come between 2011 and 2015, you are protected. So this Slums have become a vote bank politics, and every year, every 2 or 3 years, the politicians go on increasing the datum line for the slum dwellers who are encroachers. Whereas the Gauthan residents are tax-paying citizens, they are honest
Godfrey,
citizens, they pay their taxes on time.
Advocate Godfrey Pimenta, I want to stop you there. I want to ask you, you're saying Gorai is an old Gauthan. This is a Gauthan, I probably believe much before independence, it is actually, unka existence is before independence. Can you correct me on that, Mr. God?
Sir, the church, the Holy Magi Church, which is in Gorai, is more than 450 years old church.
450 years old church.
50 years old.
Yes.
And the Koli people, the Kolis as they are called, the fishermen community, has been settled on the islands of Mumbai for thousands of years.
Okay.
So the Gauthans have history of thousands of years because these were the hamlets, original hamlets in Mumbai. At the metropolis grew, they became part of the city.
And you want to preserve the old Gauthan sanctity. You know, जैसे पुराना गाउठन था उसी प्रकार से आप इस गाउठन को बचाना चाहते हो. उसका भी एक जंग छेड़ रहा था आपने कि I don't want this kind of commercialization of Gorai.
Yes. So basically what has happened today is that in the development plan, only out of 189 Gauthans, they have marked only 52 Gauthans officially on the development plan of Mumbai. But no boundary has been shown in the development plan of Mumbai. Now these boundaries of the Gauthans are available in the city survey map. The BMC has to superimpose the city survey maps on the development plan so that the boundary can be demarcated. Now once the boundary is demarcated, then by Gauthan extension policy, as on today, the Gauthan boundary should have been extended by 600 meters. So whatever things the BMC is alleging violation would have been part of the Gauthan. Now second question is, sir, for MMR region, that is the Development Control Promotion Regulation 2034, for MMR region has been approved by Government of Maharashtra. And in that regulation, there is a specific DCR for Gauthans. The Gauthans have been given special protection, whereas Mumbai Municipal Corporation has not even framed the policy for development of Gauthans. There is some talk was going on. The principal of the JJ School of Architecture has also submitted a report to the state government that the urban development department is sitting tight on this. Now, this plan of Mumbai Municipal Corporation came into effect from 2014 till 2034 for a period of 20 years. Today, 11 years have passed, and till today, the corporation or the state government has no policy for development of the Gauthan. They can have a policy for increase of FSI to the builders, to the SRA projects and whatnot, and selectively excluding various what you call plots for benefit of the developers. Every month there is some exclusion of plot from the reservation. So why this selective?
Now I'll come back to the Godfrey.
I'll money bags.
I'll come back to the today's protest.
Money. That's the reason we have not been.
Godfrey ji, एडवोकेट गॉडफ्री पेमेंटा, आज जिस प्रकार से आई थिंक गोराई अपने आप लोगों ने शट डाउन किया है साइलेंट प्रोटेस्ट, जैसे जो भी हम लोग अपने गांधीयन टाइप प्रोटेस्ट करेंगे, व्हाट वाज द एग्जैक्ट नीड? यू सेड नोटिसेस हैव बीन सर्व्ड ऑन मेनी स्ट्रक्चर्स. हाउ मेनी स्ट्रक्चर्स? एंड वॉचडॉग फाउंडेशन, योर फाउंडेशन, एडवोकेट गॉडफ्री पेमेंटा हैज बीन कंटिन्यूअसली फाइटिंग फॉर द राइट्स ऑफ द लोकल्स आउट हियर, एंड स्पेशली जो आप कह रहे हैं कि भूमिपुत्र यहाँ का. बोलिए गॉडफ्री पेमेंटा जी.
सर, ये भूमिपुत्र को सर सबसे ज्यादा अगर ट्रीटमेंट खराब दिया है वो तो भूमिपुत्र को दिया है. जो बाहर के लोंडे यहाँ पे आते हैं उनको सबको स्पेशल ट्रीटमेंट मिलता है, लेकिन भूमिपुत्र जो यहाँ सदियों से बैठा है उनको मतलब कोई भी प्रकार की सुविधा नहीं दी जा रही है. ना तो कोई उधर डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है. गोराई जैसी जगह पे एक तो अस्पताल की सुविधा नहीं है, फायर ब्रिगेड नहीं है, एम्बुलेंस नहीं है, तो आप क्या डेवलपमेंट कर रहे हैं? किसके लिए डेवलपमेंट कर रहे हैं? और हम लोग पीसफुली वहां पे रह रहे, उसके ऊपर आप हथौड़ा चला रहे. ये कौन सी नीति है? अगर आपको कानून का अगर इतना ही पालन करना है तो कानून सबके लिए इक्वली लगाना चाहिए. Why selective demolition? That is our question. And we will reveal shortly that the VIPs in Gorai areas are being spared. And we will come out with the facts and figures shortly and expose the nexus between the corrupt BMC officials and the property owners.
You know,
This cannot be. Why target the poor people?
You know, Advocate Godfrey Pimenta, our central ward office, Borivali West, have been issuing discriminatory notices. That's what you said. आपका कहना है एडवोकेट गॉडफ्री पिमेंटा की discriminatory notices is being issued to the residents. Now what is it? They call it road widening because I saw Gorai is so beautiful with small lanes and the old village GAOTHAN structures out there. It totally reminds of the, you know, this kind of old era, what we talk of, the Portuguese era, whatever you call it. Now what is it that these guys want to demolish? The BMC, our central ward.
No, these are the structures, sir. Over a period of time, the families have grown.
Okay.
Now, every family needs, you know, now the good olden days, there will be joint families, people used to stay together. But over a period of time, now it has become a single unit family kind of thing. Moment the family, you know, there is a, what you call, wedding in the family, the son wants to go separate. So everybody needs an independent house. They have their own enough land. If somebody is constructing in accordance with the rules and regulations, there is a provision, sir, under the MRTP Act. There is a provision for regularization of the structures. Now, was it not the duty of the corporation that you come here, your structure is found to be that, but we can show a way out. Why don't you file an application for regularization of the structures? So there is a provision in the MRTP Act. Most of the people are not aware. And the corporation is bound to consider your application.
No, why is the corporation not?
There is no FSI violation, sir.
No,
in
why
this case, nobody can say that the locals have violated any FSI.
No, you are saying there is a provision. Godfrey Pimenta जी, आप कह रहे हो कि प्रोविजन है उस सिस्टम में और गाउठन के पुराने ये गाउठन जो आपने कहा है चर्च करीब 450 इयर्स ओल्ड चर्च है वो एग्जिस्टेंस इज 450 इयर्स अगर वहां के गाउठन के लोग ने कोई थोड़ा सा वायलेशन किया हो तो उसको रेगुलराइज करने के लिए आपके पास कानून है मगर आप वो नहीं करना चाहते गॉडफ्री जी
सर secondly if the state government can extend the datum line for slums who are encroachers on the public properties, that property belongs to you and me because we are the custodian as a collective citizen, we own that property. If that property is encroached, you are giving a VIP treatment, come settle on this ground, we will give you free housing. But if I am constructing on my own land, you are asking me a proof of 1964. Whereas the slum dwellers, you are going on extending 95, 2000, 2011, 2015. Is it not the discriminatory practice? Why is the state government mum on this? Why don't they protect? And it is the policy of the Modi government, housing for all by 2022. So where is the implementation of that policy? You are going against the vision of the Prime Minister. मेरे घर के ऊपर का जो छत है आप छीन रहे हो तो what kind of policy you are following? You are not following the policy of the Prime Minister.
No, Godfrey जी, what you are saying is right. Today आज हमने देखा कि बीजेपी के कुछ लीडर्स भी आपके इस मोर्चे में शामिल था, साइलेंट प्रोटेस्ट में शामिल था. We saw the former MP Gopal Shetty ji and the current MLA Sanjay Upadhyay. Now, how do you see this kind of role? The BJP.
No, we welcome, sir. Any party, any politician is welcome as long as they are taking the cause of the GAOTHAN resident. Anybody is welcome. Now, our Upadhyay has promised that he would take a delegation to Chandrasekhar Bhavanpule to see that all this demolition is stopped. We welcome that decision. But at the same time, the government has to constitute a committee to go into what you call for the development of the GAOTHANs. The GAOTHANs are the most neglected areas in Mumbai, sir. Since independence, in last 75 years, the GAOTHANs have been totally neglected by successive government, including the present government. Every now and then there is a discussion in the assembly, the MLAs raise the issue, statements are made, assurances given, but beyond that, there is no action, sir. So what good is that discussion in the assembly if you are not implementing what assurances you have given to the house? So we demand that Mr. Sanjay Upadhyay would raise this issue in the forthcoming assembly session and seek some kind of assurance from the Honorable Chief Minister or the Housing Minister that some policy will be drafted so that we, the residents of the Gauthans, do not face this kind of a situation. We are not the slum dwellers. Why are you equating us with the slum dwellers? In past, there have been attempts by the builders lobby to declare some of the Gauthans as slums so that they can exploit and throw we are owning 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 square feet houses and they want us to stay in that jhopada matchbox type 200 or 300 square feet flat, which will not be tolerated.
एडवोकेट गॉडफ्री पिमेंटा, आप लगातार गोराई के इश्यूज लेके आ रहे थे, बीच में यह भी था कि द एलिवेटेड रोड्स और जो ट्विन टनल्स वगैरह जो अभी स्थगित कर दिया है कोर्ट ऑर्डर से एमएमआरडीए, हैज इट हैविंग एनी इफेक्ट ऑन द गोराई रीजन?
Yes, sir. No, so there are many projects. Today there is a desalination plant is coming. Every now and then they are inviting tenders, but thereafter nothing is happening. The desalination plant का जो टेंडर है सर 2000 करोड़ में, मतलब वहां पे हो रहा था चेन्नई में, एक साल पहले 2000 करोड़ में हो गया 400 मिलियन लीटर्स। यहाँ पे उसका लागत आपको 4000 बता रहे हैं। अभी जो ये चिनाब पे जो ब्रिज बनाया है सर,
नहीं वापस रिपीट कीजिए, व्हाट यू सेड, चेन्नई में कॉस्ट क्या था डिसैलिनेशन का?
Desalination 400 million liters per day, the cost is 2000 crore. Here the cost is double, same capacity.
4000 करोड़, तो आपने जरूर,
मतलब क्या सोने की ईंटें लगा रहे हैं क्या?
And knowing you,
and sir, every tender is a scam. The cost is inflated. We have got facts and figures. जितने भी आप ब्रिज बना रहे हो वो सब आप अगर कॉस्ट कंपेयर करोगे, now you compare the cost of Chinab, the railway bridge which has been covered. It is an engineering marvel. Salute to the engineers, but it was constructed at the cost of about 1,000 and 1,300 odd crore. Sir, that is an engineering marvel. The hilly terrain was there, taking machinery, and despite that, they have constructed the same length bridge. Here will cost you about 3 times more. Your Bandra Versova link is costing 3 times more. तो ये पैसा कहाँ पे जा रहा है सर? और हमारे जैसे आम आदमी लोग सफर कर रहे हैं इसमें. You increase the property taxes now. 15% ऑफिशियली आप अनाउंस करते हो और बिल आता है तो हमको मालूम पड़ा मेरा घर का बिल 40% आपने बढ़ा दिया. तो ये सब अभी जस्ट बिकॉज देयर इज एन एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर इन मुंबई म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन लूट लगी है सर. देयर इज नो वन टू रेन देम.
आज का एडवोकेट गॉडफ्री पिमेंटा, आज का साइलेंट प्रोटेस्ट आउटसाइड आर सेंट्रल वार्ड का हुआ क्या? आखिरकार कुछ नतीजा हुआ?
वहां पे मतलब इतना एश्योरेंस दिया गया कि जो हमारे एमएलए आए थे संजय उपाध्याय जी, उन्होंने एश्योरेंस दिया लोकल्स को कि ही विल टेक द डेलीगेशन ऑफ द लोकल्स टू चंद्रशेखर बावनकुले सो दैट नेसेसरी इंस्ट्रक्शन कैन बी पास टू द कॉर्पोरेशन नॉट टू go against the locals. So we are hopeful that something good will come out of it. But this is the knee-jerk reaction, sir. Kuch incident hota hai, we are going there. We need a concrete policy. Why not? There is a concrete policy. You have a concrete policy for slums. You have for building redevelopment, Mahada properties, this property, all set of properties. You have what you call regulations. Why no regulation is there for development of Gauthans? In Mumbai, MMR region, you have special regulation for Gauthan development, but not in for Mumbai. So this is nothing but a gross injustice to the locals.
No, MMR is giving you Gauthan ko provisions hai. What did you say? Can you elaborate?
Yes, there is a provision. There is a separate provision for development of the properties in Gauthan in MMR region, sir. And I have fought the case myself.
What is it? Extra FSI? What is it?
Not extra FSI, sir. The normal thumb rule under the development control regulation is that when you construct a building, sir, 1/3 of the height of the building is required to be left as an open space. Now in Gauthan, the houses are constructed close to each other, hardly barely 5 to 7 feet distance is there. So in the MMR region, the DC regulation says that you can leave about 5 feet distance all around, so that your footprint on the ground is not drastically reduced and you can construct as per the FSI. So why not that policy? We would like to stay in a proper, RCC constructed houses and retain our identity. But the state government has different plans. They want to see that the GAOTHAN residents get tired, and someday the builder is handed over the locality, which will not allow at any cost.
Where Gorai is concerned, we'll come back to Gorai. You have been fighting there against dumping grounds. एक गोराई छोटा सा एरिया है, क्लस्टर्ड विलेजेस, पुराने एकदम गाउठन का एकदम रिसेम्बलेंस है वहां पर, और वहां पर आपने डंपिंग ग्राउंड भी घुसा दिया, अब डिसैलिनेशन प्लांट भी आप घुसा रहे हो, शायद एसटीपी भी वहां. तो हाउ डू यू हैव बीन फाइटिंग दिस? नाउ व्हाट इज द फाइट वेयर डंपिंग ग्राउंड्स आर कंसर्न?
सर, डंपिंग ग्राउंड का ऐसा है कि डंपिंग ग्राउंड कम्स इन उत्तन एरिया, सर. Now this area is being surrounded by at least 7 to 8 villages. One of the biggest villages is the Uttan, then you have Palkhadi, you have Dongri, you have Tarodi and all that. These areas, the stenches are unbearable, and there have been, I have filed personally RTI, sir. In last 2 years, there have been incident of at least 26 fire incidents at Uttan dumping ground. But no action has been taken till date in the matter. There is a talk of relocation happening near Chennai, near Ghodbandar Road. They have also zeroed down on a particular location. But why? Because this, as per the Maharashtra Pollution Control Board, sir, there are regulations for sitting criteria of a dumping ground. Wherever there is a dumping ground in the vicinity, there cannot be any human habitation, at least a radius of 500 meters. Here the houses are close to 100 meters, sir. So you are violating the environmental laws, and people are suffering because of all this stench and the leachate. And monsoon, the things are getting very bad. So all the leachate comes on the road. People are not able to walk. Now, apart from this dumping ground, there is a car shed which is coming in Dongri, which they have given notice for destruction of, sir, 10,000 trees. So all around destruction, sir. एक साइड में हम dumping ground है, दूसरे बार 10,000 पेड़ आप काट रहे, तीसरे बार desalination plant आ रहा है. तो मतलब
ये जो डोंगरी आप कह रहे हैं, डोंगरी is close to Gorai. Is a part of Gorai?
No, it is a part of a Dharavi belt, sir.
Okay.
It is an island.
Okay.
It is a part of Dharavi belt, maybe about 3 to 4 kilometers away from Gorai.
Okay. So there they want to create a car shed.
In Dongri, they are trying to create a car shed. Now this car shed is being created in such a area which has got 10,000 trees, sir.
10,000 trees.
They will destroy 10,000 trees. The heat will increase. There are a lot of saltpans lands there. You are trying to destroy, which are the saltpan lands, sir, as per the Madhav Chetle committee, are nothing but the detention basin for excess rainwater. If they reclaim this land and construct a car shed, the whole area will get marooned, sir. Who's going to compensate for the loss which the people will suffer? These are all, they don't apply. They want to create the infrastructure for present. You don't think of 50 years ahead what will be happening. This is all short-term planning.
Now you talked about dumping ground in Gorai, Uttan. So यहाँ पर Mulund dumping ground, the government wants to hand it over to Adani. So there they are making provisions to close down the dumping ground. What is the provision? How do they give it to Adani there? Mulund dumping ground.
So the thing is, sir, the Mumbai Municipal Corporation has floated a tender for 2,300 crore. If the land is being allotted to Adani, then the Adani should spend that money. Why the taxpayers' money should be spent that kind of 2,300 crore and the plot handed over on platter to Adani? What is the logic of this? If Adani is constructing, let Adani spend the money. Why the taxpayer should spend that money? I can understand that the plot is being leveled it is, the land mass is being cleared and it will be used for the corporation for its benefit. There is no benefit to the corporation. On the contrary, 2,300 crore the corporation is paying for clearing that dumping ground to be handed over on platter to Adani Group.
And it's going to happen. I think nothing is going to stop it, is it? Advocate Godfrey Pimenta?
No, if there is a change in government, possibly the successive government may think over it. But it is a cause of concern. Not only your Mulund dumping ground, the Kurla dairy land.
Kurla dairy, yes.
And if you want to settle, sir, there is enough land mass available in Dharavi. All the entire Dharavi can be settled there only. Why throw them away? Because that is the prime area. You will, if you construct, it is not coming in your funnel zone. If you construct high-rise buildings, 60, 70 story towers, the premium sea view here everybody will be getting. So it is a windfall for Adani. And these people are being thrown in all what I call less lucrative areas like Kurla dairy and Mulund dumping ground.
Mulund dumping ground. Now, what is this 2000?
There is a resistance there also.
This 2,300 crore tender is floated for what? Shifting the dumping ground, or what is it?
No, clearing of dumping ground, because whatever is the trash is lying, that will be systematically cleared and the land will be handed over on platter to the Adani Group.
No, earlier in the program where Gorai is concerned, you also talked about a little ahead the mangroves that are being destroyed. Now you talked about 10,000 trees that are going to be cut down for the car shed. आगे जाके आपने ये भी कहा कि mangroves are going to be destroyed. Mangroves are being destroyed a little further. What is the situation there, Godfrey ji?
Sir, the mangroves have been destroyed over a period of years systematically. If you see the satellite images, if the government is so serious, if you take the satellite image of say 2015 and 2025, the difference can be seen and you can nail the whoever is the destroyer on the spot. But there is no political will. There is no political will. It doesn't take a rocket science. Today the technology is so advanced that you can pinpoint what was the vegetation on the land at one point of time and what is the status today.
Advocate Godfrey Pimenta, दूसरा है desalination plant में आपका विरोध. If some plant is clearing water and it helps the people, the locals out there, what is the problem? I really want to know why the
salinity, because Mumbai is the coastal region, sir. We have the fishermen who have been settled on the centuries on this coastland. There are a number of koliwadas all along. Now, if the desalination plant comes, sir, along with that, they will start extracting the salt. That salt will be again thrown back in the sea. So the saturation, the salinity of the water will increase. That will affect the aquatic life which is present in the sea. I am not the technical expert, but at least the common knowledge that it is going to have a drastic impact, because the desalination plant, I can understand that it has been created in somewhere area where there is a desert-like situation, and from that there is no fishing happening, no vegetation on the side. It doesn't affect. So most of the Gulf countries have this kind of desalination because the water is a problem. Today we have enough natural water, but that natural water is wasted if that water is retained in a proper manner. Today, if you see, the entire Mumbai has been concretized. There are no rainwater harvesting happening. It has to be made compulsory, not only for the buildings which are the existing building, every household, all the concretization has to reduce. There is no percolation happening, so all the water finds its way in the sea and the whole water gets wasted. So if that water is retained, like construction of ponds. Now, second issue is the number of ponds, the lakes which were there present. I have done a comparison of the development plan of Mumbai, and in span of about 10 years, the number of lakes and the ponds have disappeared. from the face of Mumbai. So systematically, you are trying to drain everything water. So naturally, then you will have to depend on the artificial water supply by desalination plant. There was no requirement if the what you call judicious use of this kind of a natural water was harvested in a proper manner. There was enough. Mumbai has sustained, and Mumbai has one of the best rainfall every year, but there is a wastage of water.
Now you have been fighting for the Gauthans in Mumbai, you have been fighting for the residents of Gorai. Continuously आपका संघर्ष चालू है गॉडफ्री जी. आपका स्पेशली गोराई के लिए आगे का प्लान क्या है? Because you wanted to protect the beautiful serenity of a village or Gauthan in Gorai against the wishes of the builders who want to commercially exploit that. वो लड़ाई कहाँ तक है चालू है आपका?
Sir, the development has to happen. There is no two ways. Development has to, but what we are saying that it has to be a sustainable development, which needs firstly the requirements of the locals. Here, the locals are totally sidelined. What are their requirements are not taken into consideration. You cannot thrust something on the locals which they don't require. There has to be a consultation process. Whenever development happens, whatever the government decides, you have to take it. So that has to change today, sir. There has to be an exchange of thoughts, exchange of ideas, consultation, public consultation, what is good, what is not good, give and take. That is the true development. That is a win-win situation for both the implementing agency, the government, the corporation and the locals. But that is not happening. The government decide I want this here and it has to happen. So that is not the real development. And that is what we are opposing.
तो गॉडफ्री जी आप कैसे देखते हो आपका संघर्ष क्या रंग लाएगा? Because आज कुछ political parties, BJP got involved in this entire thing. Watchdog Foundation was carrying on a battle since long time and you have been carrying it alone. Now how do you see a light at the end of the tunnel where Gorai is concerned?
No. So I think so ultimately you have to work with the government, sir. The elected representatives are the channel between you and the government. So whatever is your concerns, they have to present to the government. They have to come with some workable solution. So we welcome the entry of the whichever parties were there. They were in support of that. We welcome them. Ultimately, if it is for the benefit of the people, they will take it. If it is going against the demands of the local, there will be resistance and this will continue.
So the fight ahead is not going to be easy.
So sir, we have, whenever we take the issue, we try to give our best, whatever, ultimately we leave it to the Almighty. Whatever is good will happen.
Advocate Godfrey Pimenta, we congratulate you on the great work that you have been doing for the Gauthans and the Easterns of Mumbai and to protect the environment and against the rashes and pushes of the governments. We thank you for being on the show. We hope to carry on your campaign whenever you go and fight for the citizens in Gorai, in Mumbai, everywhere. We'll be there with you. Thanks for being on the show, Advocate Godfrey Pimenta.
Thank you.
As we come to the end of the program, I begin with the same thing, that each man's death diminishes me because I am involved in mankind. So don't ask for whom the bells toll. The bell tolls for thee. We mourn the deaths of the airline Air India crash 171, Mumbai, London, and the place where it crashed, the doctors who have been affected, the medical college, the Prime Minister and the whole world together mourn for them, stand with the families of the affected party, and we hope gradually things will be sorted out in a good way. That's all from Pradeep Nambiar Nation. Now we'll come again with more news from this nation, Maharashtra and Mumbai. Till then, it's bye for now.